Welcome to another installment of the Final Scoop podcast. My name is Robert Schinetsky, the supplement engineer. Joining me as always, my Polish brother from another mother, Lukasz, troublemaker Rytkowski, Prometeus Intelligent Sports Technology. Thank you one and all for joining us as always. We appreciate you spending your Saturday afternoons with us, or if you're hearing this on replay, thank you for spending 2+ hours of your other time with us in whatever form or fashion that may be, whether you're doing the dishes, beating your children mercilessly, or taking the dog for a walk, whichever you want to do. And here is one of our two troublemakers, the other half, Robert Samborsky, Apollon Nutrition.
What's up, guys? Good. How's everything, guys?
Good. We were doing the opening spiel. So you got any comments, questions, queries, quips, smart-ass remarks, feel free to put them up in the comments section. We'll get to anything and everything over the course of our time with you today. How's life, gents? Here we are again. Shane's late again.
As usual.
As usual, you know. Calm week, busy week. How are things on the Apollon front, Robbie?
Good. Busy, but stable. Thank God, Okay. Nothing extreme, nothing bad. Everything is kind of smooth. Thank God.
Outstanding. There is a new release in the works.
Mm-hmm.
I was talking with Carolina about that Thursday. We'll just say there's a new flavor coming out. I won't say what any of it is, but there's a new flavor for an undisclosed product as of yet. And I'm very excited to try this flavor because it's something I had never even heard of until Carolina said, we need something written for this. And I went, what the hell is this? So I did some research and figured out what in the world it was. So I'm super excited to try it because, without giving too much more away, we'll go to that.
Yeah, a few days.
Yeah. Greeting, Simon. Greeting. I don't know how to say this, and this gives me a conniption.
Her name is Maria.
Maria. Okay, because I see Mava, and let's go. All right, we're gonna go Maria. So, hi, Maria. Thank you for joining us. You guys got any comments or questions? Feel free to put them up. I'm gonna wait till Babyface joins us because we kicked an anthill last week with the Gorilla Mind lab results, and so the comment section of last week's podcast. There's some we're going to go through today and get some rebuttals from our panel here, but we'll wait till Babyface gets here.
Hold on. First of all, I got a question for Robbie.
Oh shit!
How's the proud dad feeling?
You know what? I'm actually I actually expected that from you, but you know what? Going to graduation, I'm definitely unlike any other dad because I was honestly annoyed. I was so fucking annoyed with all the dads and moms and everybody around. Everybody's screaming. It's fucking hot. It's at the stadium outside, and everybody's going crazy. And the speeches are so generic. I mean, I'm not trying to shit on anyone's parade because I know that it's a very big deal. And obviously it's a big deal because, your daughter, your child graduates from high school. That's a big deal without a doubt.
Oh, congrats. I didn't realize. I thought Jess was a junior. I thought she was going to be a senior.
Yeah, she just graduated. And it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Thank you. But at the same time, you know what? Sitting there, it's to me personally, and again, I'm not trying to offend anyone by this. It's boring. It's very, very generic. The speeches are very, very predictable. And it's every American movie that you watch, with the valedictorian and the speeches and school principals and whatnot, and the outfits. I mean, it's so generic that you can actually predict what's going to happen in the next 10-20 minutes. I wish it was a little bit more fun, and because it's a huge achievement for the kids. And they becoming adults, they entering a new phase of their life. I think that just kind of instead of everything being so scripted and so by the book, just give them a little bit more freedom to really express themselves and don't go so scripted, because I'm pretty sure that if you go into any state, any town, any school, any high school, and you look at these things, they probably about the same. They're not about the same. They're exactly the same. So you know what to expect, and you're just sitting there and you're like, will this shit fucking end? Because it's just you almost don't want to be there, because it's we all been to a bodybuilding show, right? Mm-hmm. So when you go to a bodybuilding show, back in the day, they were very, very exciting. They were very, very cool. Today, you go into a bodybuilding show and it's figure and it's bikini and it's physique and it's classic physique, and it doesn't fucking stop. So in reality, you're going there to support a friend of yours. Now you're sitting for 3, 4, 5 hours just to watch him on stage for like a split minute. He's going to be there in and out, and hopefully he's going to earn a trophy, and that's it. But your entire evening is ruined. That's exactly how you feel at these graduation things, because you are there for your child, obviously. You really don't give a rat's ass about anyone else. But you're sitting there through all these speeches that you can probably predict what they're going to say in advance before they even say it. So that's I just wish they would make it a little bit different and make it about the kids more than about being fucking sheep and doing it all, the same shit over and over again. But nevertheless, definitely, a proud moment for any parent. It's great to see, your child graduate from high school and kind of like entering the new phase of her life. So it's an amazing feeling. And, I congratulate obviously her and every kid, because it's definitely an achievement. It's a proud moment.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Congratulations to Jess.
Thank you.
Does she know what she's doing? Is she going to take? Because a lot of kids at Sandy School, they'll do a gap year and then they'll work or do an internship and then go to college. Or is she have a set idea of what she wants to do immediately?
You know what? It's actually funny you should ask this, because I didn't know. This is actually very unpredictable. This is the exact opposite of what I just said. Yeah. Because here in the States, it seems like some kids are taking a gap. Some kids are going to college. Some kids are not going to college. And then some kids are going to college and then taking a break within a year or two, which is very, very, and you can't really judge, because I guess, whatever they want to do, you kind of have to support them as a parent. With Jess, it's a little bit, by the book. She's going to college here in New Jersey, not far from where we live. I think her direction that she picked is medical field. Mm-hmm. But from me personally, I would say from Marina as well, there was no pressure. We kind of there was more pressure, I guess, from grandparents and stuff like that, which is, I guess, very typical. Yeah. But she decided she wants to go in that direction, and we'll support her. We'll see how it goes. But it's funny because I met somebody this morning. His son also went through graduation. No, his daughter. I'm sorry. And after 2 years, she decided to take a break 1 year. And she went to work at Disney in Orlando for the whole year, and she just decided she wants to go back to college. And to me, that was fascinating. That was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean that's cool. That's awesome.
Does your wife have like a big influence on her as far as her moving forwards to her like studies and so on, or was it like her passion just to go with the medical route and so on?
You know what the funny thing is? It's like
I'm just
no. It's fun. It's interesting because when I went to college, I moved from Israel to South Africa, and that was actually my transition. And my English wasn't even that good, so when I had a choice, I picked marketing and business management just because I liked the work marketing. I had no idea what I want to do. With Marina, she wanted to be a pediatrician, but then she decided last minute that she wants to be a pharmacist. With Jess, she went all over the place, but with a very kind of typical Jewish influence. Most of Jews are either lawyers or doctors. She was pushed a little bit. Not by me. With Marina, maybe Marina mentioned it a few times, but didn't really push her. The funny thing is, she decided to go into medical field after she got hooked on Grey's Anatomy TV show. She was watching it religiously, and she became a huge fan. I think she actually watched the show 2 or 3 times. The entire fucking 10 or 20 seasons, whatever they have.
That's a lot.
And, she was really into it, and I think that influenced her. But in terms of a final decision, I don't think it's there. I would say she's at about 90%. So, but she's, towards medical. But no, I just asked Marina not to push her because I feel like that's a mistake. I don't think anyone should be pushed. And, at 17, she should be mature enough to kind of pick her own direction in life.
Yeah, of course.
Hi, Ava.
Hey, Eva.
Hey, Eva.
I like your Spider-Man shirt. That's my favorite superhero.
We got a fifth person in the club.
We do.
Final
They
scoop.
can't see your socks, bro. They're underneath. They can't see your socks.
We can't see your socks, Ava. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm more than happy to discuss this with you offline, Devin. I don't want to get us kicked off YouTube going into the Supreme Court rulings. I'm more than
It is
happy to-
interesting, though, yeah, but it's probably, very thin ice.
Yeah, I mean, if they clamp down over people just mentioning the word COVID for like 2 years straight, I can't imagine what they're doing to channels that want to get into these things. I'm more than happy to discuss some of that stuff. And we were over at a friend's house last night, and both of them are lawyers, and so I was quiet the whole time. I just kind of wanted to hear what people that actually understand the inner workings and machinations.
Oh, people are fighting over this. This is a
lot.
fucking craziness.
Yeah, and then you know what? Will Smith will slap somebody next week, and we'll stop talking about it all over again. So that'll work.
What is this?
There were two big Supreme Court rulings in the states, or one of them was Roe v. Wade getting overturned. So Roe v. Wade was the one that, yeah, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so that got
I just had
overturned.
no idea what that abbreviation
Can you
meant.
explain to me, because I don't know shit about it?
No, Lucas probably don't want to explain it on this. From my
Yeah,
understanding.
we'll do it. We'll have to talk about it afterwards.
Okay,
So.
cool.
Sean, congrats to Jess. Obviously, she got her mom's brains.
Asshole.
Oh, goodness. So what's new, babyface? How's life in England?
I'm assuming you're talking to me.
I mean, you're the only one of us in England. So
Yeah, well, you said babyface. You said babyface, and I was like, I guess that could be me.
who's the youngest in the group of us? Robbie's old as shit, only out-olded by Sean. So,
No, I think
Yeah.
Shane.
Yeah, Shane's 34.
Shane is the youngest.
Yeah,
Yeah,
weird.
34. Lucas and I will be 37 this year.
God damn.
I know. I'm 36
Dude,
in
I'm
2 more weeks.
I'm already 37.
Oh, you are? Okay. Well, then I'm Sandy just turned 37 on Thursday. So
Gotta put your deposit in on your coffins. It's getting there.
I am. My dad said he just got the notification to sign up for Medicare. He's turning 65 in August as well. And I just went,
I'm glad who's gonna take care of me after my passing.
yeah.
Stack 3D sponsored.
There we go.
At-
I want that embossed on my coffin. Stack 3D coffin of the year. There we go. Right there.
And downstairs will be like, comment, subscribe
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just don't turn on notifications, please.
for the 5% fat discount.
I do have a serious question. So, in honor of you guys always having some kind of energy drink on the show, I was walking through the store today, and so I purchased 3 different cans. So I bought a Ghost Warheads one, the red raspberry, which I've had that before. I really enjoy that flavor. I picked up the Alani Nu Rocket Pop because last week I said I don't know if anybody makes a Rocket Pop flavor, and somebody quickly pointed out that Alani Nu did. And then I also picked up the Rise Tiger's Blood because I like. Brooke said that Rise is really good, and I like Tiger's Blood, but Robbie was a little lukewarm on the flavor. So which one should I go with, gentlemen?
I mean, and out of those 3, I only had the Ghost and Tiger's Blood.
Yeah.
I think Ghost is slightly more popular, but I actually slightly prefer Tiger's Blood. Slightly.
Yeah. Apnut, Applied Nutrition, Abe.
I need
What
to
does the
grab
Abe
mine.
stand for?
All black everything.
There you go. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go get the Rise Tiger Blood. I'm gonna go try that, and we'll see how that taste is. I'll be right back.
What does that sound like?
I'll be back shortly as well.
Lucas is gonna have what?
To
2-3
me-
bang.
To be this one is really, really good. I really like this. This might be my favorite Ghost flavor.
I'm pretty sure I've had that one. I can't remember though.
I really liked it.
I've had most of the. There are a few I haven't had, to be honest. I'm trying to remember which ones I might have missed.
You know what? The funny thing is that probably second to this, I really enjoyed the one that I was saying, the citrus one. I think it's very underrated. I really like it.
Oh. Can of tea. God damn.
What is that? Oh, how is that?
Polish cherry flavor, very good.
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sridhar, the Warheads. Is it red raspberry or was it watermelon? The ghost.
Hey, by the way.
Raspberry.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Oh.
There we go. This is not sponsored. I purchased this with my own hard-earned money.
If this was a sponsored segment, then we're you know, was it mixing
Conflict of
interest? Yeah, we got 4 different energy drinks.
Tiger's blood. Is there anything special about this? Water, citric acid, taurine, choline bitartrate, natural caffeine. Not remarkable. See, that's the other reason I like the ghost ones. If I'm gonna buy one and I can find it, I like Neurofactor. I like getting that full serving of Neurofactor in there.
Yeah, no, this one I really enjoyed. I have to admit. I mean, it was good. It wasn't memorable, amazing, but it was. I thought it was very decent. I prefer that to Sunny D for sure. I mean, again, personally.
Yeah, I like it.
It's
be a little
not
bit
the
more
greatest, but it's pleasant. It's definitely pleasant to drink.
Yeah, I would almost say I need a little bit more coconut.
Yeah, coconut is definitely
Coconut with it.
you can definitely feel the watermelon and you can definitely feel the strawberry, but the coconut is missing for sure.
Yeah, it could be like it's in there. You got that tropical vibe, but I like a lot of coconut.
You know, if you ignore the name of the flavor, then it's actually it's decent. It tastes decent. Yeah.
Yeah,
I saw
yeah.
green cola all over Cyprus.
Did you?
Yeah.
I didn't pick it up.
Have you ever tried it yet, Shane?
I have tried it.
Okay.
It's damn good, especially the lime and the lemon.
There you go.
They just dropped it. Like,
I'm not gonna lie, I would still rather drink Coke Zero.
Over Diet Coke, or do you seen those are pretty equal together?
Honestly, if you gave me both of them, I wouldn't be able to tell the fucking difference. To be honest,
Yeah.
I might be able to tell that they're different, but I wouldn't be able to tell which one's which.
Gotcha.
Actually, is there an energy drink anyone's ever had where they've actually had that reaction that you see in movies when like they drink it and they're like, pfft? Have you actually ever had anything where you've actually done that?
As far as an energy drink,
yeah. I got one, but I'm scared. I'm scared to say
don't say it. That's fine.
Why are you scared?
because the rock is gonna kill me.
Zoa. There we go. Okay.
Oh, I was actually going to say the Rock too. Yeah, I mean the
Honestly, that was my reaction when I tried it for the first time. I just couldn't swallow it. It was horrendous.
It's gross. It was. I mean, I took a little sip. I didn't take a big chug of it, and I sipped it, got it down the hatch. It was not pleasant.
I just
Never
don't
seen-
understand.
because I went in blindly. I went in thinking it was the Rock. It's the shit. I was like, this is going to be amazing. Why not, right? And so I took a huge sip. I wasn't like, I took a whole mouthful.
Yeah.
It's like, fuck, bad idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was the one I actually spat back out. And I'll be mean. If you're listening, Rock, if you're subscribed and you're listening, I'm sorry, but sorry, Dwayne, I'd probably call him, or Mr. Johnson, whatever. But I apologize. That
You know
was
what?
pretty bad.
You know what's funny is that when you think about energy drinks, right? And you take all the energy drinks together, and some of them are great, some of them are okay, some of them are you know. I don't even think about the Rock's drinks. I don't, because to me, that is like, you remember when Ronnie Coleman used to come on stage and the fight was for the second place? I don't think anyone comes close to Zaw as the shittiest fucking thing on the planet. They're just in a different fucking category. I don't think anyone comes close. And I've had some, energy drinks that I'm not really enjoying. I'm not like a fan. But Zoa still is the worst. I mean, I don't even fucking compare it to anything else. That's how bad it is, I think.
I had Red Bull in Thailand and it wasn't carbonated. That one I spat out.
Dude.
Okay.
That was funky, but that was more of a surprise because I was like, Red Bull. It's the only thing I knew. I got it, drank it. I was like, the fuck was that? Like, it just.
Limited edition.
Was it meant to be carbonated?
It's Red Bull. It was Red Bull branded.
Okay.
It was. I knew. I mean, unless it was like a really, really good ripoff, but it was at the airport. Either way, I drank it and I was like, oh damn, it's like a Red Bull tea. Still had that toxic kind of like energy drinkish taste to it.
Toxic taste.
You know the taste I'm talking about, like that classic energy drink taste that they all kind of had at the beginning.
Yeah.
And like Red Bull, it's like a malty kind of thing. That was something else without that little fizz.
Diesel. What's up, Lucas?
Go ahead.
Okay. Did anyone try Animal's new pre-workout, Primal?
Yes,
Or for
I
people
did.
listening to this on audio, the avatar of Team Diesel is wearing an animal. It's an individual wearing an animal T-shirt. So, are you sponsored by them? Do you work for them, or are you just a big fan? I'm curious.
Wasn't there a guy called? No, wait, I think he left. That guy G Diesel. I think he left and made.
Yeah,
different
he
brand.
left.
Is that G Code?
G code.
That would make a lot of sense now that I think about it.
There you go.
With the name G Code G Diesel, I never actually put it together.
All right, let's pull up the profile on this, gents. And Team Diesel's
It's pretty-
qualifying.
it's
Just a
pretty-
T-shirt they won a couple years ago. There we go. Okay, cool.
It's a nice T-shirt.
There you go. All right. Let's see what we got here.
It's pretty straightforward.
When did this come out? I don't even remember this coming out.
March or April? Early April. Yeah, early April.
So there we got 6 grams of 3D pump breakthrough, 3,200 beta-alanine, 2,500 betaine, 1,000 milligrams of taurine. So all solid on that front with pumps and performance. 1,000 milligrams of tyrosine, decent. I'd like 2 to 3, but that's nitpick. 300 choline bitartrate, hard pass on that for me. 50 milligrams of teacrine. That's the active amount of teacrine, so that's on the bottom threshold, so that's within the range. I like a little bit more, but that's fine. 100 micrograms of huperzine A, 300 caffeine, 200 of an herbal energy blend, which who knows what you're getting in that, if anything. So I would ignore that pretty much altogether. That's more window dressing than anything. Electrolytes, 25 of estrogen solid and 25 of synactive. Isn't synactive 50 milligrams?
50.
Yeah, 50
Usually.
should be synactive. I mean, overall, coming from what Animal was before their previous offering, I think this is a big step up compared to what they have done previously. It's a solid all-around pre-workout. I can nitpick things here and there, but overall, I think it's an upgrade from their standard pre-workout.
Yeah, I agree.
Lucas?
Yeah, I actually had this at Animal when I trained at their gym.
Oh, well, there you go.
It's
How'd you
pretty
like it?
good.
Flavor, performance, focus, all that. How was that?
I mean, the flavor was pretty damn good. It's a mainstream pre though. Like with those big brands, you really. I kind of classify big brands like these guys, like Cellucor, Muscle Tech, BSN, Spiral, that quite differently, just because their audience isn't so specific. It's so I kind of rank them under a different approach, and I would say for the competition, like the size they are with other legacy brands, it's pretty damn good. I would say it falls between. Actually, I'll put it on par with C4 Ultimate. Just a little more well-rounded. C4 Ultimate, I don't feel has a few highlighted areas, but it's pretty good all around. And I will say the energy kicks a little more than you would think. I think is it meant to be 300 or like something? The caffeine? Yeah, 300.
Yeah, 300 caffeine, and then this herbal energy blend. I don't know if you're getting any trace amount of caffeine from the coffee bean extract or guava, because that's usually 22% caffeine.
Because I threw it back without like knowing, and then I said to them afterwards, like, they felt like a little more than 300. Like that actually felt close to like 370, 380, whatever. And they said that's probably because of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to know the exact caffeine payload that I'm getting in the full scoop. I just if you want to have the prop energy blend of the herbal extracts, that's fine. Just tell the consumer how much caffeine they're actually getting in the end. But overall, I like it. You're kind of hitting all the major checkpoints and everything like that. I can nitpick a few things here and there, but overall, for that mainstream consumer that's looking for an actual serious pre-workout, yeah,
Okay.
this is a solid
1 minute.
offering. Is it only available in Fruit Punch, or do we have other
What are they
flavors?
talking?
Yeah.
Is it good?
Strawberry watermelon
Yeah.
Fruit Punch.
Is it-
Okay.
is it-
And for a cost of
It's super.
that's actually not bad. $42 for this.
How many servings?
25 servings for $43.
I
Actually
mean,
not
there is a picture.
I think it's actually very fair, and especially, but also take into consideration that they're manufacturing all their products, so
Yeah.
that actually it's very fair. It's very fair. The formula is definitely a step up from what they usually do. I think that overall, for what they're offering, for what they're charging, I think it's like can't really talk shit about
Say
this
good
one.
night.
Good night.
Yeah. Good job, animal guys. If any of you are out there listening.
Good night.
What is their nonsense? Oh, this is a fat loss formula. Okay. We'll ignore this. Yeah. Okay. All right. This just came across the wire right before we hopped on the podcast. So Legion
Yeah, dude.
is a fairly massive company, at least on Amazon. The amount of sales
I thought this was a pretty cool little addition.
is ridiculous. They crush it on Amazon, to be frank.
Is this the company of Mike Matthews,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Who's
um,
Mike Matthews?
The guy that he used to run Muscle for Life, and then he starts Legion. He's
Don't know.
a big fitness writer and stuff like that. And then his chief science officer, the guy that helped formulate all the products, is Curtis Frank, one of the original founders of Examine.com. So they got some really smart people over there.
Yeah, he has a decent squad under his wings. So yeah.
But yeah, go ahead and do the background on this, Shane.
We mean what they are?
As you eloquently
Well,
wrote the article, so
Sure did. So yeah, Per Legion came out with 2 pre-workouts, Energy Surge, Performance Surge. Basically, the idea is that you can take them by themselves. They're pretty straightforward products, so you wouldn't really expect a huge amount of energy or a huge amount of performance from each respective product. But the main approach, I believe, is that you combine these with another pre-workout such as Legion's own Pulse, and Energy Surge will help elevate energy a little bit further, and then Performance will also obviously help with add performance, but it's also got KSM in there, and I think Alpha GPC is in the other one as well. Yeah, to additionally help with like mood and focus. And so the idea is that you can combine these with Legion's own pre-workout or other pre-workouts without too much crossover, I guess, and it basically elevates those specific areas. The only thing I was a little surprised about was the price. I would have expected them to be a little bit lower, just because $35 a piece is... There are some pre-workouts in that realm, like some actual complex ones. But then I guess they sell them as stacks, and you get 10% off. So I guess that would bring it down to like 31, and you might have a few other coupon codes bring it down a little further. But yeah, I thought it was a quite cool little idea. It's a little bit different from the stim-free pump add-on. They've kind of got little components that you can combine if you want more of one area.
I'm 100% sure that Mind Pump has a contract with Legion, so you can definitely grab like a Mind Pump podcast.
Oh,
It's like it's a big podcast, but they know each other very well. And Mike was at their show for many times, and after that, they decided to combine forces and just work with each other. So I know that they have like a discount code for like 10% or 15% maybe on the site wide. So yeah, it should lower the price. Funny thing is, just a few words from my side as far as these products. It really reminds me of the supplement needs.
I was gonna say that. But it's a little simpler though, isn't it?
I know. It's much simpler than supplement meals, but still, seeing something like this just always reminds me of their stack. So
Yeah, I find this is what's kind of weird. So there's already 350 milligrams of caffeine in their pre-workout, 350 of theanine. I understand adding the extra alpha GPC so you get a full, like a solid 300 milligram serving of actual alpha GPC in there. Peak ATP is good. The KSM 66 is good. I don't really understand the caffeine anhydrous and the theanine. I mean, this makes it seem like it would be better to stack with their non-stim pre-workout, their non-stim Legion Pulse, as opposed to the stim-based one, just because you really want 400 milligrams of theanine in your pre-workout? Just 450, sorry, 450. With that.
What I think is they basically, try to enable people just to, find their own preference and basically go with their own gut. So if someone wants more energy, they can go with this additional formula that has more caffeine. Or if someone wants more focus or something, they can go with this other product that has the alpha GPC and KSM. So
the caffeine to theanine is kind of the same ratio, isn't it? Their pre-workout's got 1-to-1, so it makes sense to that extent.
Yeah.
I guess they'd keep it similar.
Right.
I'm not gonna lie. I like that kind of stuff, to be honest.
I like the
when
stuff,
it comes
but I would have liked it to be more
cheaper.
See, the problem is with this, you're looking at the two labels, and it seems like nothing wrong with them because, it's decent ingredients, it's decent. I don't know if I can call it a decent formula, but even combining the two together, if you combine the two together, in terms of energy and even performance, you're getting very, very, very little. I would say bare minimum, but then you have $70. And then you have basically what Shane said, and I agree with that. You can have a well-rounded, packed fucking pre-workout that costs actually maybe even a little less than $70, and it will pack it. So it's on the surface, can't really argue with this because it's not really bad. It's just, is it worth the $70? Because I can only see stacking them together, taking them by themselves. I don't see much of a benefit. Because you're taking a pre-workout, you want to feel it. Whether you want to feel like a strong pump or you want to feel strong energy, stem or no stem, you still want to feel it because even a non-stem pre-workout, you're expecting that it's going to be a good performance, focused pump or whatnot, whatever you want to feel. With this one, I feel, number one, 100 milligram of caffeine is, even for somebody who is on a lower stem, this is very low. 100 milligram is very low. And then theanine is going to make it feel even lower than 100 milligram. It's kind of almost like canceling each other. It's like taking, 200 milligram or 100 milligram of caffeine and taking a sleeping pill together. They're just going to fucking cancel each other, in my opinion. So on 100 milligram of caffeine, the point of theanine, I think, is pointless. But then again, I like seeing KSM. I like seeing rhodiola. I really, really like to see PKTP. I love that ingredient. Mm-hmm. I just feel like, you add a little bit more to that, and you have a phenomenal pre-workout. I just feel like this is, even for somebody who wants something lower stems and lower performance, this is really low when you take into consideration spending $70.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I like the idea and the strategy. I just don't like the price of it.
The price. I think actually the price is what the problem is with this one. The price, $70. It's just, I'm sorry, it's not worth it.
Make them cheaper or add more to it. I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're using branded stuff for everything but the alpha GPC. For some reason, I don't know why they did the branded version of L-theanine when they've got the regular generic L-theanine in there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Is there alpha GPC in Pulse?
Yeah, there's 300 milligrams of alpha.
So I guess I guess combined you get 600. So that's not kind of
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, that's I like that mashup. I've used regular pulse before, and you got solid performance on it because you got the research dosages of citrulline, malate, beta-alanine, and betaine. That's great. The energy, it feels flat for me. And it's just my only explanation is for the theanine, but that's only it. But I don't like theanine in pre-workouts. I like it in nootropics, but I understand there's a lot of people that are sensitive to caffeine and they like the smoother kind of energy from it. So to each their own.
It looks like it's nothing wrong really with the label. It just, I think the main problem becomes when you're taking into consideration the price that you're going to pay for it. That's where it kind of becomes a problem.
Yeah. Well, and this is only 21 servings too, and the other 2 servings are 30 serves each.
Yeah. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to find its consumer, and I mean, they are big on Amazon. And let's face it, we've seen far worse labels. In terms of a label, it's really not that bad. I think what makes it kind of, I don't want to say bad, but maybe a problem for me is the price.
Yeah. I think it would be that too. But
agree
what
more.
I know, Mike has made millions with Legion selling on Amazon, so I'm just a schmuck.
I'm sure this will go down extremely well with their.
Oh,
their
yeah.
fan base.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Bro, his books are selling millions. So yeah, man.
Yeah. Back to the Animal Primal. Team D's will agree. It's about time they started to go away from the prop blends, which they love. Yeah. We talked to Eric Schwartz about that, when we had him on the first time, because he used to work with Animal and kind of picked his brain about why are they doing this and all of that stuff. So, Sridhar, thoughts on Thavage RTD? Curious to know how it tastes.
I actually tried it yesterday. Patrick from Aris Nutrition gave me a bottle of green gummies, and the flavor was pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. The beta-alanine was hitting hard. I mean, I was very impressed with beta-alanine in it. The container, the green container that I had, it's basically green letters on a green container. I thought it was a bit of a fucked up mistake because you can fucking barely see anything. So, and the letters are very, very small. The formula is decent. The pump was okay. Energy was okay. It's not something that, I would call hardcore, but then again, they're not trying to present themselves as hardcore. Right. But I think for what it is, I think it's solid. It's a solid taste, solid performance, solid product. I mean, I can't really say nothing negative about it. It is. I don't know what the price point is. That's the only thing I don't know. But it's a good thing. I mean,
$3.50 a pop.
That's I guess for RTD that's reasonable, and it's
for
pretty
a comprehensive pre-workout. Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty stacked. I mean, it's well dosed. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it, and the taste is also pretty good.
Yeah. 2-to-1 caffeine to theanine ratio. I like that. If you're gonna have theanine in a pre-workout, I like having more caffeine than theanine in that 2-to-1 ratio. Good citrulline, beta-alanine, betaine, taurine, all that's good stuff. Agmatine's an interesting inclusion, just because you don't see a lot of people use it.
They wanted to keep it away from Europe.
Yeah. I was going to say Canada and Europe, I don't think they can do it.
No, we can't.
But, I mean, somebody gave me a bottle to try, I would try it.
Yeah, no, it's not bad at all. Like I said, I only tried one flavor. I actually enjoyed it. It wasn't too sweet. What I expected. I expected it's going to be really sweet, and which I don't like in a pre-workout. But the beta-alanine, I definitely felt it was strong. Mediocre energy, which is fine. Good pump. Focus so. I mean, but again, I mean, you get what you see, and it's a solid pre-workout. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah. Price seems a bit too high. Plus, I'm so sensitive to theanine that I yawn from Sridhar. That's in reference to the Legion pulse. I'm
okay. Yeah.
Simon says, have you guys tried Super Pump Aggression? Not sure if it was mentioned on the show yet. This boy hits the spot. Is that the Gaspari one?
Yeah.
Let me pull that up.
That's the one that he worked for 2 decades on.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Typed in Gaspari Super Pump in Stack 3D search engine, and I got,
Came out, what, last year or
I got
something?
buckets. Ageless.
So much aggression.
Yeah.
We discussed it. The
Yeah, we
formula,
did. We actually made some fun of it, so it was all in good fun. It's okay formula. It's I think they presented it as this badass hardcore 2-year.
Bro, if you would work on that kind of formula for like 10 years, it needs to work, right?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay formula. It's just nothing special. Definitely not a few years work. Probably like 20 minutes.
Yeah. 4,000 milligrams of L-citrulline, 3,200 beta
Agmatine again.
Say it again, Lucas.
Agmatine again.
Yeah. The real oddball, and I remember mentioning this at the time too, is the palmitoyl ethanolamide. It's not like the PEA stim that everybody thinks is some. That's phenethylamine or phenylethylamine, however you want to say it. This is like a pain. It increases your body's ability to tolerate pain to a certain extent, and it's like an anti-inflammatory. It modulates to those kind of things. So in a joint supplement, I can see this working. In a pre-workout context, I'm curious to see the thought process between including it in there.
Gaspari thinks that like 100% people that are going to the gym like train like motherfucker, while like 90% of those
train like
don't even lift. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking the same. Yeah, it's okay formula. I mean, I'm pretty sure with what is it? If I believe it's 3 milligram or something of alpha yohimbe.
Yep. Yeah, 3 milligram of 90%. So yeah,
I'm pretty sure it's gonna hit. And what the caffeine is 400.
400.
Yeah, so 400 of that and 3 milligram of alpha yohimbe. You can take the rest of the ingredients out, and it's still gonna hit.
Yeah, the 100 milligrams of choline bitartrate and DMAE is not going to do much of anything. Yeah. But yeah, like Robbie said, 400 caffeine, 4 citrulline, and 3 yohimbine. I mean, that's enough to get anybody. Plus 200 micrograms of huperzine. That'll be enough to get you going. Like I said about the Thavage thing, I'll try it. If it was offered to me, I would try it.
I'm not really an RTD person, to be honest.
You're not an anti-D person?
No, RTD person.
RTD.
Okay, just because I was given, so I gave it a try. I was impressed with the formula for it, but yeah, I'm the same way. I'm just not.
I mean, I like looking at them and I appreciate them for what they are, but
yes, same.
I don't think I've ever like bought one because I needed it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I mean, there might have been an odd occasion, but it would have been only because I absolutely couldn't find anything. When we went to France for 5 days, I actually went and bought a pre-workout for maybe 20 euros, 25 euros, as opposed to buying 5 RTDs. So it was...
You bought that Polish shit.
Yeah, I did.
Fuck off.
It's good shit. It got me through. What was it?
Well, it's better this than nothing, right?
Yeah, but see, that it's also, for me, it was better that than it was an RTD.
Fucking scammers. Don't say which one. Don't say which one, because I get sued.
Because I guess the benefit as well is that if it doesn't work that well...
Robbie, you know which one, right?
Hey man, look, it got the job done. I could have a little bit more because I needed a little bit more extra kick. That's the other benefit with the RTD is the RTD you can't, like if you're feeling shitty that day or like you need a little extra, the RTD is it. Can't do a heaping scoop. Can't do a little bit more, a little bit less. I guess that's kind of why I've always liked the powder. And the powder always works out to be, typically it's better, typically.
Yeah.
Because I don't think I've seen an RTD that's like the hardcore RTD that's like $8 and jacked up. If I remember correctly, did they do a Dynasty RTD? I remember them talking about that, the C4 Dynasty RTD.
Mm.
Oh damn,
Maybe they
that
did.
would be stupidly expensive.
I thought they were doing that. Maybe I was wrong.
C4 RTD
They did. Yes, they
renamed
did.
C4 on the go. That's 6 years
They
ago.
did do a Dynasty RTD.
But it wasn't available everywhere, right? It was like a limited.
I think Dynasty itself. I think Dynasty itself was meant to be more of like a celebration limited thing.
I know it was only in US because it wasn't anywhere else.
Yeah, there you go. Look at that. Look at 16 grams of actives in that beast.
And the C4 Ultimate one?
C4 Dynasty RTD.
Let me pull it up, see if I can find it somewhere. Confirms an on-the-go version. Do you have it on your site?
Yeah.
Can you send me the link? Drop it in the private chat. I'm having difficulties.
I mean, there's 30,000 stories on Stacked. It's hard to get in the right spot.
It is. Agreed. All right.
You don't know how to Google?
There we go.
Stacked is the Google of supplements, Lucas.
It is. That's what you need to change the header to Google of supplements.
Stoogle.
There you go, Stoogle 3D.
Change the search engine to Stack.
Yeah.
I'll change the logo, make it blue, red, green, yellow.
There you go. Loaded as promised with 16 grams of actives.
Yeah, man. This was
Snap.
6.5 grams of L-citrulline, a gram and a half of citrulline nitrate, 6.4 grams of carnosine beta-alanine, 1 gram of taurine, 400 milligrams of N-acetyl-L-tyrosine, trifiddy of caffeine anhydrous, 150 of Elevate-TP, 100 of alpha-size, 50 of estrogen, 5 milligrams of Huperzia serrata extract, which is going to be 50 micrograms of huperzine A, and 1 milligram of Rowolfia vomitoria root extract, aka alpha-yohimbine.
I thought this was a pretty beast, man.
It starts strong, but the lower it goes, the lower it gets.
It's a pretty steep drop off. The 100 milligrams of alpha size is not going to do much.
The RTD format is it's one of those things. Like they could have just put the citrulline, carnosine, caffeine, and just been like, "Oh, this is loaded."
Right.
But then, you can only. I imagine that when you go to a manufacturer, it's like, "Hey, we got 5 grams of active. Okay, cool, we'll get it done."
Yeah.
We got 16 grams. I feel like there must be. It's not as easy as. There might probably be actually a limit on how much you can manufacture. So I feel like this kind of been an easy thing for them to do because most people barely go over 10 and these guys are only 16. And I bet it tastes good too.
How much was in the Savage one?
Yeah.
How many actives are in that? We got 6, 9,200,
It's got to be close.
11,7.
I think it's just shy of it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's gonna
got
be
11.7, 13.7, 14.7. Yeah, just shy of 15, 16.
Just over 15. It's not.
Or plus you got all these, so I mean it might be right at 15 and a half.
You can't count the carbs, man. Come on.
I was talking about the vitamin C, the B, all these little milligrams add up.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I never count the vitamins.
Yeah. No, I mean these are both pretty. Yeah, they're packed.
Yeah, I was going to say today. Oh, they don't. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I feel like it's when you get to these RTDs, it must be a limit they're working within, and they must go like, why can't we do this, or can we add this? And it's got to be. As far as I know, this was a limited product too, so I don't think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not around anymore.
I think Dynasty itself was meant to be a limited release. It wasn't meant to last. But I guess they've kept it around. Yeah, there you go. It says limited edition on there.
There you go. Or it's still limited and they just never sold it. I have one of the two.
There's no way in hell Seiko didn't sell through this.
True.
You know they would have sold through it, and
Yeah.
maybe they did 2 runs. Maybe they just, I don't know.
Where is the supplement facts?
I'm just curious how many they produce.
I mean, I've heard numbers on Seiko C4. It's
Well, the numbers on C4, the original, the OG.
yeah, I know, but they're not gonna. It's kind of like their conversation I had with Jack, and Jack said he wouldn't produce a new drink unless he could do what was like 300,000 cans or some shit because it was more expensive for him to change the line to do something less than that. So that was why he always had like I can't remember the exact number. So I imagine Seiko will be in the same. They wouldn't do this for 5,000 tubs. I doubt it.
Yeah.
I have to imagine we're talking 6 figures of tubs. I could be wrong. I've heard how much C4 Extreme sells in a month, and that was like a few years ago. I can't imagine how much it probably does now.
Well, in what I can tell you in a wholesale realm, Cellucor is probably one of the best-selling brands as far as like pre-workout.
I don't doubt that at all.
Yeah, but like I said, that's wholesale, so that's a completely different piece than even retail or like.
These dudes told me. These dudes tell me how much.
Ape is just like he's just going up there.
Yeah, it's like the UK C4. He told. I won't say what he's told. The number he told me, but I was like, "You fucking serious?" I didn't even. I still don't believe him.
Yeah.
But
people just love the flavors, and you know, the formula isn't super like overcomplicated. And
it's about as reliable as it's on par with C4 Extreme, and
he's a daily driver, you know, basically.
Yeah. And I think they sell in a lot of those Middle Eastern markets too, and a lot of Asia and stuff, which I feel.
Remember when you said when you are traveling, you can find like brands, like Muscle Tech and so on, and that's the thing with the Cellucor. Whenever you go, you can always go to the shop and you can always find. You
got Extend. With the aminos, you got Gold Standard in the protein, you got C4 in the pre, and then you got to have some big bag motherfucker gainer.
Yeah, probably muscle.
Mutant mass. It's mutant mass usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and universal creatine or pack or something.
Oh yeah.
The multivitamin.
Animal pack behind the counter.
There you go.
Of course.
Yeah.
In a glass. Under the key with a lock.
Yeah. And only one in stock.
Yeah. Cautious. Don't touch.
If you don't have those in your supplement store, I'd walk in and just put this is in a supplement store. It's fucking bakery. Get out of here. This is weird.
There you go.
I actually had a discussion with someone the other day, and we were trying to figure out. We weren't trying to figure out. We were throwing down reasons against why certain brands do well and why certain brands have stuck, and some things that brands have done. And the conversation came up with Gold Standard.
Yeah.
And people will say shit like, "Oh, this brand did this, and then they did this, and it didn't work that well, or they did this." And they'll say, sometimes brands they don't like to change things because it's doing so well, and then by the time they need a change, it's too late, and the trend's gone. None of this shit applies to Gold Standard. The flavors are the same. They're not the cheapest. The formula is exactly the same as far as I know.
As a matter of fact, going up.
The branding is practically the same. We were basically just thinking out like, and even I said this because I said that I buy that one a lot when I go to other countries because I don't know why. I know it, but there are other things I know. But we were just going back and forth, just trying to figure out like if you tried to do anything that Gold Standard is doing, it wouldn't do shit. But like, why is Gold Standard the Gold Standard practically?
Since I've been working at Prometeus, the price of the price on the gold standard has been changed for like, I believe 12 times now, and it's only going up. It's not going down. We only had, I believe we had like 3 or 4 specials on this on the optimum gold standard. But I remember we once had a deal. It was like 4+1, but it was sponsored by Glam.
Would have gone through the roof.
I remember, yeah. In 1 week we went like hundreds of pallets or something like that. It was stupid, and since then until till this day, what they did is they didn't even change like the flavors. They only like added a few more. The flavors are not like super spectacular or anything like that.
They're pretty.
But honestly, if you ask anyone about gold standard and does he ever like try their protein, they always will say it's good. They won't say it's amazing, but they will say it's good, and it's reliable. That's the other aspect, because people value the quality, and they know that they can relate on it, so that's a major aspect for many people. And even till this day, because I believe, yeah, like yesterday I was like checking the price for my client. It was like I said, since I started working, right now it's like maybe 12 euros more than since I started working at Prometeus. And I explained to the guy, that everything went up, including like transportation, the importing stuff and so on. And he understands that, but at the same time, like we're like asking, so when the prices will go down? And I'm like, dude, that's not gonna happen. So just keep that in mind. So, but people are still happy to spend money on gold way. So that just shows that if you offer a quality product, they will sell their own mother, grandfather, grandmother, just to like get their protein.
That was what we said. We said quality, but it's not like other people aren't making similar quality. Like there are similar quality, and it's not like, and they don't release like new flavors that often. And again, as you said, their flavors are pretty good. They're not great. They're not bad.
But if you think about it, like years and years and years ago, we're talking about now decades. When they came out in during the time where the competition was not as it wasn't as competitive as it is today, and they didn't go, as far as I remember, they didn't go like lots of bodybuilding and stuff like that. They actually went after mainstream market pretty much from the start. They were marketing pretty much for everyone, and from back in the day when protein tasted like shit, theirs tasted actually pretty decent. It was always decent. It's still decent, and they still stuck to the same very market. And I think they built that loyalty, and they didn't try to deviate from a plan. Because if you look at, everybody is impressed with Radcon, right? Wow, Radcon in such a short period of time, they built this like, amazing market. But Radcon, and I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about right now, like, sticking to their guns. They're nowhere near optimum nutrition, and they never will be. They never will be. You know what? They have a huge chunk with the young audience and whatnot, but they will never be. Apollon will never be. Ghost will never be. None of those brands will come even close because mainstream is what I call average, and average is still superior. You can have like little pockets of hardcore guys, trendy guys. Like for example, Ghost is very trendy because it kind of relates with the current TikTok market and all that. They all come in waves. They like this. So right now it's trendy. Will Ghost be as popular as it is today 5 years from now? I don't know. I just don't know, because that generation will graduate to other things. And what was cool today is like what was cool for when I was in my 20s today is boring, and it's just not fashionable and not cool. What's cool today for the generation of 18-year-olds and 25-year-olds, it's not going to be cool 20 years from now. I think that Optimum built that fucking army, legion of followers, and they grow with the brand and they introduce it to their kids and whatnot. So it's kind of like they stuck to their guns. And if you look, for example, at Jim Stepani, right? Jim created, I mean, he's nowhere near again Optimum, but he created that little fucking market, that army of followers that, that love Jim, and he built it very, very nice. But if you look, we made fun of the fact that he didn't change really formulas for what, 8, 10 years or whatever. But his followers, he changed the formula, they still buying. But it's unless you're a gym follower, unless you're within that clique, within that market, you really don't give a shit. But that market is big. I think that optimum nutrition market is so huge and so mainstream, and they stuck to the same thing. So when you look at the bodybuilding community or you're looking at fitness community, you go like optimum nutrition, that's like nothing. That's not even good. You're gonna walk into an average retail store and you're not gonna see optimum nutrition, at least in the United States. But you're gonna go into fucking Costco and they dominate over there. And if you go overseas, they dominate over there. And I remember talking to somebody from Russia a couple of years ago, and we had this, like, not really an argument or a conversation. What is the best protein on the market? And he goes, Optimum Nutrition. I'm like, not the fuck it is. It's not even a top 5 or top 10. But he's convinced it's Optimum Nutrition. So you have Costco people in the United States, which is a huge fucking market. And then you have Europeans, and then you have everywhere in the world. It's not cheap. It's not super expensive. It's somewhere in between. And the average consumer, the middle class, will always rule. They will always rule. And they stuck to what works. I'm pretty sure if the sales dipped, they would go like, oh, maybe it's time to change something. But in our industry, I don't even consider Optimum Nutrition our industry. That's like Ronnie Coleman. That's just a fucking whole other fucking untouchable market. Yeah. But in our industry, you see Ghost, and even Apollon is guilty of that too. We always try to reinvent ourselves. We're trying to rebrand ourselves. We're trying to come up with new things. We're trying to fucking capture different markets. While Optimum Nutrition is laughing at all of us, and they go like, stupid fuckers, we don't do shit, and we still sell. Yeah. And you can't argue with that.
You know what it reminds me of? When Ronnie was dominating the stage back in the days, and people were trying to
to catch him
on size, right? Yeah. And they basically screwed up their own physiques while he was still crushing them, and they were trying to catch him up on the size and so on, and just battling him. And I remember one time when I was listening to the Dennis James podcast, and he said that he was discouraged about trying to figure it out, the size game, and just trying to fit the mold, while he should just go with his own path and just try to be on his own statement, instead of trying to be comparable to Ronnie and other guys. So yeah, that's the thing.
If you look,
I also remember one time at the FIBO, I had a meeting with a few Russians, and we were talking, about Optimum and so on, and they told me there is no middle ground. There is the lowest point, which are the brands that are local stuff, and there's Optimum.
Exactly. Yeah. Don't fucking try to touch them, because you can't touch them. They didn't innovate. They didn't fucking do it. They're fucking killing it. You know what? And you brought up a very good example. If you dig up, I believe it's 1993. I think it's 93. If you dig 93, Arnold Classic, Flex Wheeler won that show. Flex Wheeler, I believe there is a pose where he's on one knee and kind of like a sideways pose where his waist is not existent, and you see detail on top of detail on top of detail. He's tiny, but he's 200. Yeah. I believe he's 232 pounds. If you look at that Flex Wheeler in 1993, that Flex Wheeler could have beaten Dorian Yates. That Flex Wheeler could have possibly beat Ronnie Coleman. Could have possibly beat Ronnie Coleman. But then Flex Wheeler decided to chase Dorian, and he decided to chase Ronnie, and he put on size, and he couldn't beat them because he didn't try to beat them at what he was the best. He tried to beat them at their own game. You can't beat the beasts by being a beast. You have to be a little bit more creative, and you have to play to your own strength. And I think that Flex Wheeler was definitely uncrowned Mr. Olympia. You know, you have, I think, 92, Kevin Levroni, I think 92 at the New York Pro. That was his pro debut, and he won. He was so fucking shredded that it was like, what the fuck is that? That Kevin probably could have been Mr. Olympia, but he also decided to chase Dorian, and he decided to chase Ronnie. All these guys, you know, I just watched on YouTube, I caught an interview with Ronnie. I think he did it with, I forgot this channel, David Bet something. Bet David. I forgot the name of the channel. It's actually Valuetainment. Valuetainment. He's amazing. So he did an interview with Ronnie Coleman, and he asked him, who are your top 5 bodybuilders of all time? And he named Arnold, he named Sean Ray, he named Flex Wheeler, he named Phil Heath, and you know, it goes to him, what the fuck? What about Dorian Yates? He goes, he's not in my top 5. I like those guys with like beautiful physiques and proportions, and you know, and that conditioning. And he was right. I actually agree with him. I also prefer that look to Dorian's like fucking massive thing because they were so beautiful to look at. They were exactly what bodybuilding was initially all about. They looked absolutely amazing. But all these guys decided to chase mass monsters, and they got fucking destroyed. They got destroyed. Yeah. You know, Jay Cutler, I was sitting next to him at the Nut Bash, and he said that he took massive amounts of steroids, and he abused steroids, and he felt the best when he was like 230, I think, or 240. But when he started chasing Ronnie, and he went to 260 and 265 and 270, he was saying that he was playing with, I mean, basically playing with fire. He was doing something pretty bad to his body at that point, because, but he tried to chase him. I mean, Jay did beat Ronnie eventually, but Jay did not beat Ronnie at Ronnie's best. Jay caught Ronnie when Ronnie was slipping, and Jay admitted it. You know, Ronnie was already not at his best. At his best, Ronnie was absolutely untouchable, and everybody who chased him, every bodybuilder failed. Same thing, like nobody should chase optimum nutrition, and we should not even try to compare ourselves or try to step on their territory because it's just not doable. These guys have the formula, they sticking to the formula, and you know, there is optimum nutrition and there is everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I wasn't arguing that they were successful. I was just saying why. Yeah. Because it just baffles me because, like you said, there's no other supplement in existence that I know of.
I agree.
That does that. C4 was in 2010, so that's a little bit too soon. But like, I just don't understand how or why. And I get the reliability thing, but it's past a generation. But that didn't happen to many other products that have been around since, like EAS. That was mainstream. Wasn't anywhere near as dominant. I mean, it was popular, but no one's near as dominant as Gold Standard. Yeah. Same with Ultimate Nutrition. Muscle Juice was kind of popular, I guess. Universal's been around for a long time. They had a whey protein that was I'm pretty sure they had a concentrate or a blend. I just could not think of a reason as to why this one has done as well as with its circumstances.
I don't know. But if you look, we just had somebody saying, oh, finally, you know, Animal is adapting and they're getting better. They're not sticking to the crap that they used to do with prop blends and stuff like that. So all these things, all these companies, Gaspari, EAS, even Animal, they always do something. They either try to change the formulas, or they sell the companies, or they change the companies, or they change the labels, or they change some kind of a marketing plan. They're constantly looking for a new something. They're looking for a change. Optimum nutrition, I'm not saying that that's the secret, because, I mean, I wish I knew the secret. I'm just like you. I'm puzzled, like, what the fuck? You know, while all these brands are trying their best to reinvent themselves, like Raw just now, let's do a special edition, a special flavor for Amazon. Or you have another company is going to do, let's enter the wellness market, or let's enter the gummies market. Let's change our labels. Let's go from prop blend to open label, or sometimes the opposite, from open label to fucking prop blends. Or let's sell the company, or let's get this partner, or let's get this investor. You always hear about companies in the news doing something new, innovative, cool, yet Optimum Nutrition is absolutely nothing, and they still dominate. So yeah, it is.
It baffles me.
It baffles me as well, but it fucking works.
I don't know if you guys remember when Cellucor released their protein powder, and it was back in the days. I don't remember the name. I think it was the Cellucor Way.
Core
something like
yeah.
that.
Core Way.
Yeah, and like from the start, like people were like saying, that Glambia's gonna have full hands of work with them, and I was like, what you're trying to say, bro? Just don't even touch the subject, because we all know that after a while it's gonna be gone. And see, I don't think like Cellucor doesn't even list the way on their site now. So it just shows,
that's the crazy thing as well, is that these are like hundreds of millions of dollars companies. These aren't like dickheads. These guys are doing things like they're actually put a lot of effort into this, probably doing months of market research, probably analyzing Glambia's approach from decades ago, probably going through every single thing they can. They put it out, doesn't even probably make a dent for enough to keep it around, and then that's like I'm saying, if this was a car, if this was a phone, like if this was a phone that went unchanged for that long, and you were like, it's all right phone, I pay a little more than the best phone, like, would you still buy it? Like, it's such a, like I said, I had this conversation, I'm not arguing, I know that they're a leader in that category. I was just confused because, like you said, they don't change anything, and majority of people that don't change anything get smoked or get phased out or lose interest. But these guys have obviously kept it, not needed to change, killed it. Flavors the same. Don't charge the cheapest. Don't charge the most. Like, don't release new flavors. Don't release limited editions. Barely change the label. It just seems like if you told a brand to do any of this, you'd be like signing their death wish kind of thing. But Optimum does do this in every other category. The pre-workout they've entered multiple times. The aminos they've changed a few times. They've done a bunch of protein snacks. Done a bunch of more gold standard extensions. If you remember, they had the Platinum series back in the day. That's not around. So they've different dabbled in other things and tried different things. But gold standard, just like I said, it just seems like one of those things that I'm still confused. The reliability is the only thing I can think of, but then that gets lost on a generation, right? Like,
it's funny, that this name didn't die. Gold standard.
But to be honest, they did try and expand it though. They expanded it into the gold standard pre-workout, the gold standard. They did it into other products, but it just never worked. It just only seemed to do well for the way.
Listen, in my as far as my work and so on, the brand expanded a lot, a ton.
Yeah.
You can see the gold standard like everywhere. But when you ask people about Optimum, there is only one product that they always tell you.
To be fair, Amino Energy is the other one.
Yeah, I was going to say Amino Energy.
It's going up there, definitely. But the number one SKU is their protein, and like I said, no matter what will be the price, people still gonna buy it.
Yeah, it's wild.
That's what's also like surprises me a lot.
I buy it. And that was my whole reason. I was like, I don't know why the fuck I continue to buy it when I like it for its reliability, but I do know that everything it has to offer could probably be got similar in another brand. But I never go to it. I don't know what it is.
It's like a safety nest where something kind of like solidifies itself as a go-to brand. I mean, you have a few of those kind of like in the industry. I mean, yes, obviously, Optimum Nutrition Protein is the absolute undisputed fucking king of proteins, and nobody comes close. And we're not talking about quality. We're not talking about price. We're not talking about taste. We're just talking
Yeah,
about
it's the weirdest thing. It's the
That's
best protein, but it doesn't taste that good. It's not the
Nope.
cheapest.
It's-
The branding's the same.
exactly.
Isn't it?
And you have the same thing with Animal Pack. Animal Pack is like fucking standard. Like, you have a lot of multivitamins that are really, I mean, good. But Animal Pack,
I bet Optimin outsells Animal Pack.
you think so?
Yep,
Yes.
that one from what I hear, and it's like
Which is
$10.
possible because I mean I obviously like compare it to like more athletes. But Animal Pack is just like fucking, that's, I think, the flagship product. And I honestly never liked it, to be honest. But, it still sells. I even know some retailers who will not carry, animal or universal nutrition products, but they have Animal Pack.
Like I said, it's not a store unless you got Animal Pack behind the. I have one here. I bought one the other day.
Yeah, but also, keep in mind, guys. Remember how many brands try to like reinvent the multivitamins and the pack, status. Like so many I could like name right now, even like Redcon One, NTS, even like Dedicated from Canada. They also they had dedicated pack. And what?
But gold standard is like I bet numbers wise, I bet it's ridiculously like a leader by far. I would love to know the numbers. I actually tell you about the amino energy, which is like the other one that I hear is Optimum amino energy. I mentioned this. I don't know if I did an interview or I told it to someone. That was originally ABB's, American Bodybuilding.
Yeah.
So the beverage brand. So I remember I had a meeting with them a few Olympias ago, like a few years ago, and he told me that they came up with it. And then he said that it just didn't obviously fit them because they were a beverage brand. So they gave it to Optimum. Obviously, ABB is a Glanbia brand.
Yeah.
And so, and I was like, God damn, because I just got to wonder if BSN did gold standard or like ABB did amino energy and then it didn't do that well. Then they gave it to Optimum. Would it still have done that well? I just thought it was so crazy that somehow these things happen and they just.
I'm just curious. After like maybe 10 years, are we still gonna be recording this podcast? We're gonna have like long beards, be a bit older, maybe I will have some more hair, and we will be talking about about the Optimum still.
We'll be like, the fuck gold standard's still doing it?
Yeah.
I would love to meet with them and just to hear the numbers, just to hear the sheer numbers. Like when you hear C4's even applied, you're like, holy fuck, really? That's how much you sell? I would really
love to see their facilities and just like see what kind of like working spectrum they're like.
That one that I went to the other week, My Protein, they told me that they reckon it's one of the largest in the world, if not the largest. They just said pure size. They can't imagine anyone's been bigger, even a dedicated manufacturer. But they said that there's probably a good chance Glanbia is similar.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised either. But I bet it's probably entirely dedicated to gold standard.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind trying to reach out to them. I just don't. I just know that because I talked to some of the people in Ireland, thinking that they're not connected to the US, and then you got their ingredient side, and then you got another side. So
they have separate departments.
I would love to reach out just to be like, just tell me how many tubs do you guys sell? I won't tell anyone. I just want to know, just to know how big is big, right?
I'm sure it's crazy.
Like the world's biggest dick. Like how far off am I, right? Like a foot, 2 feet, 6 inches. Am I close? You just want to know, be like, how many tubs you sell a day? Like 100,000 tubs. Like, fuck me. That's insane. That many people pumping out.
I'm curious how many people buy a gold standard in like 1 minute in the world. you have this kind of like stats that
I guess I suspect it's. I gotta guess like half a million, £5 a month. I could be off. I reckon 500,000 to 1 million. I could be wrong, but that's my guess.
a month.
Yeah.
You're saying a month,
So 10 million tubs a year, give or take.
bro? That's not.
You think more?
I think more.
I think that's damn. But actually, that's the wild thing is that you think more. So let's just say it's 2 million, right? 2 million a month. Let's just say 2 million. That's a lot of fucking tubs of protein, man. I don't know. And they make 10-pound bags.
That's my sources.
Yeah,
Maybe
like I said, I know a couple of guys in Ireland, but I mean, and they own the whole thing, don't they? They own the production, probably own the guys to make the plastic. As far as I know, they own the cows, right? They own the farm.
Happy cows.
You don't get any more vertically integrated than the cow, the tubs, the powder, the distribution.
Happy cows gets you happy milk, and happy milk gives you happy gains.
Did you see that? You know how I said Prozees is launched in the US?
Yeah, I saw that.
Do you know how vertically integrated they are?
Well,
He told me he owns his own seamless legging factory.
oh snap.
Who the fuck? Like, how deep do you go into owning everything to own the person who makes your leggings? When he told me that, I was like, shit. Because I know he does the labels, he does the production on the sports nutrition side. I was just like, that's insane.
That's a huge step for Roses to step to US.
But he told me that was the thing. Like, if they want to do something, they go and buy the facility manufactured, then they do it. Their thought process is just cutting everything out as little as possible and just doing it themselves, which is crazy. But yeah. Anyway.
Oh, okay. So they want to like work solely with no interaction of any company, right?
Not want to. As far as I know, that's what they do. They sell. You know how they sell hair dryers? They sell like a whole bunch of electronics, and they're trying to get the power adapters converted so that they can sell it in the US market, because that's their only limit right now. Is the power conversion is different.
Oh, okay.
I just thought that was ridiculous that they sell that.
They have UK products, right?
I don't think it's necessarily just the plug. I think the voltage or something he was saying is different.
Oh,
so it's not just adding the adapter. I think he was saying something like that. But yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was crazy. Another crazy giant beast that you just
don't think about.
Yeah, I was when he said that to me, he's we got leggings, we make them ourselves. I was like, the fuck? I was just like, who does that?
Sure, why not?
Usually you'd get the supplements, maybe like the capsules, the powders you do yourselves. Even some brands that do themselves, they outsource other ones.
Yeah.
But who goes that deep to be like, I'll get my clothes made myself too. I'll do some seamless leggings, specifically seamless leggings.
Yeah.
Let's look up for some New Zealanders. Pay them.
All right, gentlemen. Next topic. We kind of kicked the anthill last week with the Gorilla Mine Turkesterone lab results. And so we've got a bunch of comments to go through from last week's that I'd like to pitch to y'all. Norman also here. And so I'll let y'all provide any response or reply or rebuttal that you care to make on this. So I have not followed anything of what they're saying. So I'm just going to, I'll moderate and I'm going to keep my mouth quiet because I don't really know anything about what Derek or Greg said. If y'all do, please educate the public. Norman. Not to beat a dead horse, but did you guys hear Derek's response to the whole Turkesterone scandal? I feel like Nootropic Depot inadvertently helped Gorilla Mode's sales more than he thought. I see more people say Derek is handling this humbly and less people defending Nootropic's Depot.
I disagree. There is no way that he's selling more after this. That's just not possible because it's not the type of publicity where people would go like, oh, you know what? This is severely underdosed. Let me go and buy it. I don't think it would affect it that way. I just don't think they had anything to say, or didn't want to say something stupid, and decided kind of like to keep quiet for now. But there is no way that this is going to help. Just not possible. Increase sales, because that's not the type of publicity. If they said that fucking Derek got fucked in the ass by somebody, then maybe. But this is not that type of publicity to direct to increase sales. So not a chance.
Okay. Nick says, Greg Doucette, on the other hand, his response was very bad. Sounded disingenuous. Did any of the three of y'all listen to what they said or heard or anything?
No, I didn't hear anything.
Yeah, I did.
What? Give us a recap, and then we'll go back into the comments from last week's discussion, and we can get into those.
Yeah, so in the big summation, because I don't want to get like sued or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like Greg said that he posted like a 6-minute video when he said that he did the lab tests, and on his lab results it showed that the product doesn't contain turkesterone, but it contains aldosterone. And after that he said that, well, what does it mean? Maybe it means that the formula is better that way. So, yeah, that baffled like everyone. And the best part of it was that, on the label, it clearly says you're buying turkesterone, right?
Yeah.
So if a consumer goes to the shop and takes a product out of the shelf, right, and he reads what's on the label, he probably knows that, let's say, he's buying like turkesterone, right? Mm-hmm. That's what I think, with what I would think,
Right.
But he said that no, that's not correct. And as he said, the lab tests show that his formula contains aldosterone mainly, which allows, or I should use like a different language, but I'm not perfect in my English, so sorry about that. But he claimed that maybe that way, his formula is better that way. So I was baffled, I was a bit like, I didn't understand that. And I saw this week video that Mark Lubliner did on him. He was very professional. He wasn't like scamming on Greg or anything like that. He wasn't like dropping any names or anything like that. He just like, wanted to explain people how, lab testing works and so on. But I really, if you guys are really interested in the subject, just go to our Tiger Fitness channel, to Mark Lubliner, and it's like 1 hour video, but it's worth listening and watching.
You know what? Here's the thing. I haven't seen anything, and I haven't seen the interview, the podcast, or whatever. But the thing is that, you know what? It doesn't matter which one is better, aldosterone or turkesterone. I'm just going to use an analogy. You're going to a restaurant and you're ordering a chicken. You're getting a steak, and they're going to say, "Well, eat steak because steak is actually more expensive and better." No, you ordered a fucking chicken. So you should be getting a chicken. That's what you're paying for. So I don't think that, I'm giving you something better. Well, according to you, it's better. But according to me, I paid money for something completely different. And I would like to get my money worth. So if that's his argument, and again, I did not listen to it, then, what Nick said, sounded disingenuous. That's actually mildly putting it. That's just a stupid answer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really want to.
Shane, that's a hard no. That's a hard no.
Look,
hey, can we? I'm sorry. Can we play the video that Greg posted on his channel? That would be the best way. It's 6 minutes.
The sound's not going to
It's
go
only
through that well. I would,
no.
because I mean,
Listen,
I watched the video, but
only 6 minutes, but it will explain all listeners and viewers, everything.
just put a link to it down below.
Yeah, I don't really.
And while you're there, put the link to
I don't
Stack.
want to listen to 6 minutes of him squawking about his bullshit product and trying to hawk people on it.
It's I mean, it's an
Look,
excuse.
I don't think that the saga is ended. It's like, it seems very, I don't know. I mean, I have a lot of things that I would, I don't want to touch it yet.
Well, it's the same thing as somebody is asking Sridhar to send him a link for the final scoop, and he sends him a link to the Stacked podcast. It's
Yeah,
just,
but in that case, I
not
can
cool.
understand. That's way fucking better. I can understand. It'd be like, oh, you know what? This is much better. You're right. I don't want the final scoop.
There you go. All right, so here is the comments the comments in regards to our discussion on this topic last week. All right, so here we go. First one up. Lukasz. People bought multiple bottles because of price point deals and because they were told multiple pills were necessary to get results. Some people claimed to get results. Many folks said they got no results, i.e. placebo. To state that folks buy supplements means they work is such a dumb argument. Half of supplements on the market have like no noticeable effect, and there are many that are bunk. Any response to that first one, gentlemen?
Can you read it once again? Because I don't understand if he has something on me or what.
I think your argument was saying, not your argument, but with the point you put forward last week is that the Turkesterone supplement from Derek was a really big seller because people bought it and they saw results, and that's why they were getting. That's why it would entice them to go back and buy them more. I think Nick is saying that they only bought them that much because they were on deals a lot, and they were told by Derek and the people that work at Girlmind, you have to take a bunch of this shit to get results. So, and he's saying other people saying they're getting results for them, but how do they know if they're actually doing any kind of, biometric screening kind of stuff to assess body composition changes and all those kind of things?
You see, the thing is like what Lukasz said is that, people were buying it because they were seeing results or whatnot. He's not exactly wrong. I mean, the bottom line is right now everybody's jumping to accuse Derek of underdosing and fake shit and stuff like that. But the truth is that customers were buying it. You know what? The brand owners generally will hype up their products. It's normal. I mean, it's just that's the way it is. So following that hype, the consumer will buy a product. If you buy a pre-workout and you want it to kick, but it doesn't kick, you're not going to buy it again. So I'm not a big believer in Turkesterone, never was, probably never will. However, I'm not the type of person to argue with results or how people feel. If Lukasz says that Turkesterone helped him either put on size or increase performance or whatnot, who the fuck am I to tell him not to take it? I will express my opinion thinking that, what, I don't believe in it. I don't want to take it. And I haven't bought Turkesterone once. I haven't, but that's my choice. So if people were buying it, Lukasz is not wrong. People were buying it, a bottle or two or three. They bought maybe 10 bottles at the time because they bought into the hype created by Derek and his marketing team. Or they bought a bottle or two and they saw some kind of results that triggered them to buy more. So I think the test result and how many bottles they sold are not exactly related. The product is popular. We just talked about Optimum Nutrition. We don't know why people are buying it. Shane doesn't know why he's buying it, but he's buying it. It's not the cheapest. It's not the best. It's not the best tasting, but he keeps on buying it. It's his money. He decides to purchase it. Who the fuck are we to argue with him? He doesn't even fucking know why he's buying it, but he is. So the same thing is with this product. Up until the test came negative or underdosed or whatnot, people were jumping on a bandwagon and buying. You know what? I see on a daily basis people hyping up supplements, and I'm looking at the supplement facts, and I'm like, the fuck are you buying? Why are you buying this crap? It's either underdosed, it's proprietary blend, it's overpriced, but they're still buying it. So you're buying into either influencers bullshit, or you're buying into the brand owners bullshit, or somebody has incredible following on the internet and you're buying it. But the bottom line is you're buying it. Now you're looking for an excuse. But it doesn't really matter the reason why. The bottom line is it's done. Derek was selling more Turkesterone than, another leading brand, just because Derek has a fucking insane following on social media, and he has that much of a span that he can, get that many customers. But the truth is that if I'm selling you a product and I'm saying, you know what, you're going to drink this fucking energy drink, and the energy is insane. It's amazing. It's the best ever. You know what? I'm not talking about the flavor right now. I'm talking about the fact that this is going to give you insane energy. Now, you're going to a store and you're buying this product, and this product doesn't give you energy at all. In fact, you're going fucking to sleep using this product. Guess what? No matter what I'm going to say next, how great it is, you're not going to buy it. That's the bottom line. It doesn't matter what test results will show. It doesn't matter whether it's underdosed, overdosed, or non-existent. It doesn't matter. You're not buying it because this particular product doesn't work for you. So, I don't see like where the criticism on Lukasz for this one, because he didn't say nothing wrong. What he said was the obvious. People were buying the product. That's the bottom line.
Yeah. Okay. Next one from Mark. If you look into the history of Turkesterone, there was a bit of a craze about it in the early 2000s, then it died down, like a lot of these ingredients, mainly because people realized what was being sold was not the real thing. Ajuga turkestanica is primarily grown in the mountain areas of Uzbekistan, and the guys trying to source the real product were finding you could only buy it from an Uzbekistan official supplier, and the price was something around $5,000 a kilo. I doubt this has changed now, and the products being sold are sourced from China and are a mix of other plant ecdysteroids. That's not to say it doesn't work, though. It probably does, but what's being sold should be labeled correctly. It's something Aaron from Performax and I were talking about this a couple weeks ago, about the outrageous price of actual authentic Turkesterone back, 5, 10, 15 years ago. But yeah, and he said it was something absurdly expensive, and now I think people are getting it for a couple $100s a kilo is whatever their Turkesterone is. But yeah. Any thoughts, gentlemen?
You know what? I mean, we've seen time and again, there are so many sources, I mean, especially ingredients. You have, for example, you have carnosine, right? So when you're getting carnosine, you know that beta-alanine will definitely work. I mean, it's a proven ingredient. When you have generics from different sources, whether it's from China, God knows where else, we heard many times, oh, I don't feel the tingles on this beta-alanine, or, I don't feel it or whatnot. It's hard to tell. In terms of brands being dishonest, I mean, majority of brands are dishonest. But it's not only in the supplement industry, it's in any industry. They hyping up their product, but it's up to you to have common sense, listen to people that actually have knowledge and are not biased, and do your own fucking damn research. Where Turkesterone is from Uzbekistan or from China or from Japan or from Africa, does it really matter? I mean, you can do your own research, whether the product is actually, especially considering that it's nothing new, whether it actually works. What is the exact dosage? What are the mechanisms? Where are the studies? All those things you should actually perform yourself. You should do a little bit of research, not because somebody says, oh, this is the best product on the market or a game changer, and you're going and automatically are buying it. Because consider the source. Is that the owner of the brand? Is it somebody who works for the brand? Is it somebody who's a paid athlete or an influencer who gets paid to hype up the brand? And, everybody goes in and they buying it, and then they're looking who to blame. I mean, nobody to blame. Yes, people are making money, and that's the reason why they're promoting the brand that pays them the money. I mean, that's normal. I don't think there is nothing wrong with it, but it's up to you to make a decision. I mean, it's pretty simple. I mean, you want to buy C4, you want to buy Hooligan, you want to buy non-stim, you want to do your own research, what ingredient works, what ingredient doesn't work. And, then if the product doesn't work, maybe it's time we kind of blame ourselves, because we, as a consumer, I'm probably taking myself into account too. We are always looking for the best deal for the cheapest shit. That's what we are looking for. And sometimes you get exactly what you pay for. I mean, if you want best quality is not going to cost cheap. And if it costs cheap, maybe you should question why the fuck is it so cheap?
Yeah.
Adam Cuthbert. It looks shady AF, considering how in bed with all of the patented ingredients companies like Nootropics Depot is. We know how they are behind the scenes. This whole situation comes off as a coordinated smear campaign to lay the foundation for some new patented version of Turkesterone, like Turk Prime, or something to be coming out in a few months. You may not even be aware of it. The way the testing was done, in combination with a lack of research on the ingredient itself, leaves room for plausible deniability if it comes out that the test was performed in a suboptimal way to garner these desired results, as being a mistake as opposed to malicious strategic attempt at the assassination of the reputation of a future competitor. And then Nick responds to that saying, the guy's motives may be questioned, but the results and the way he achieved them come across as very legit. Questions surrounding the lab Derek used, ABC, also need to be analyzed as FDA has a big issue there. Overall, we need to get third-party analysis of untested batches before we can trust anyone, in my opinion. So far, no one has adequately answered to that.
I don't think, that Derek used the same type of lab testing as Nootropic Depot did.
Agreed. Yeah, he used the UV one, which was the less accurate one.
The test he shared was from last year, wasn't it?
Yeah, from last year. Yeah, so I also don't know if he's testing every batch, or he's just like his manufacturer is testing randomly the batches that they're coming to his warehouse or something like that. But honestly, I don't know. I don't want to speak a lot about it. I personally didn't try Derek's or Greg Turk because I got my own supply here in Europe, so I'm not using their shit. So I really can't speak a lot, about the quality of their products. All I can say is that from what I've saw on the internet and this whole hype and so on, people were doing videos, reviews, doing also vlogs as far as trying their stuff, and they were claiming great results. They were also posting videos, back to the future and so on. So yeah, I'm just I don't know what to say honestly, because right now the tests show that that the products are not legit and they're scammed, because that's what we should say. They are literally scammed. But the worst part, I think, of this whole case is what Greg did. Because I was expecting, instead of even trying to I don't know, convince his people, or trying to maybe be nice in this whole thing. I think he tried to play the fool, because his video was edited a lot, and on top of that he did this whole thing. Maybe yes, maybe not. Maybe Turkesterone works, maybe not. So if you're selling a product, you should know what you're selling, right?
Agreed.
Because otherwise it's a fucking scam, because, for example, me and Robbie and Shane, we can start a supplement company tomorrow, and we can spike the shit of our product with SARMs or GW and so on, and we can say, oh, this is a game changer supplement, and we can sell a bunch of this shit, while people will not gonna know what they're getting, right? But this stuff will fucking work, right? Because GW works, right? It gives you a fucking endurance and so on. So yeah, I just think that if someone is testing your stuff and he shows you, look, these are the results, then just you should be a man and just say, okay, I need to step up and just try to find out what's going on, because maybe he wasn't aware of that, because of course he's like a one-man guy, but he has like a lot of people under his wings, right? And a lot of people is helping him. So I also can, imagine that Greg Doucette is not, and his brand HCLT is not just like a one guy, right? Just like Robic. Robic's not responsible for the entire Apollon. Like he has a K, he has Jose, he has many other people that are like. Plus, he's working with like huge amounts of like manufacturers, not only one, but he's probably using 3 or more, right? So he's also expecting that his manufacturers are legit with him, and I'm sure that he's also like testing all the batches and so on. So when everything is coming his way, he's not just like, okay, I can trust this guy because I'm with him and he's in this business for like so many years, right? No, you don't. You always need to like keep that in mind, and you also need to like be, untrustful. As much as we love this industry and this business, we also need to keep it in mind. This is business, and you can have friends, right? But wise man said to me one time that in this industry, you don't have friends. It's all about business. You can treat people with respect, of course. And if you treat people with respect, you will gain respect from them. But keep in mind that you need to have this third eye, and you always need to look behind your back, because people want to screw you. If you're up there, and look how Greg is growing. Like every month there's a new feed on Stacked on his product. New release. He's gaining like subscribers, followers on a daily basis. He's driving Lamborghini. He's like buying huge stuff, huge shit. He has this or that, and so on. So with success, you're gaining also people that like they want to screw you up. So keep that in mind. End of the rant. Thank you.
Shane, those images you sent me, do you have the link for those? For that comments?
I mean, it's. I feel like it's a bit pointless putting them up now, but I mean, it's.
Well, I was just going to direct the listeners if they want to go see more of the banter for themselves, because we can move on from this.
I think it was on a channel called Sika or Sika Strength. He did a pretty good breakdown, and he was like a pharmaceutical tester or something.
How do you spell that?
Sika. It's a pretty cool video. Just go on YouTube's Sika Strength and then just type in Turk, it'll come up. But I mean, I like I said, I don't think it's over. I just think it would be interesting to see where this goes. Maybe it is over, maybe it's not. Like it's tricky in the supplement game because like there's so many things and connections and stuff like that. Like even if it's only the raw ingredients, you could be buying your creatine from a company in China and the dude has COVID every day of the week and he's sneezing into your creatine. Like these are things that you're not even aware of. So there's wild shit. I'm not saying that happens. This is just a random example. And this is shit that wouldn't be then like the next guy wouldn't be able to like have known that. Then the guy after that wouldn't know about that. And then when the creatine gets to Apollon, they wouldn't know about that. Yeah. Like this is just shit that's out of your control. But you, as a consumer, you simply want to go buy protein and you rely on it, you grow on it, and then let's just say you take it down to the lab and the lab's like, nah, dude, there's protein in this. And you're like, the fuck? There shouldn't be, I understand testing's complex and complicated, but you should have a logical explanation as to why that's not right, regardless of whatever. And then if they say, look, it's because you did this, okay. But if you can't explain as to why that came through, but as a consumer, that's all you want. That's all you ask. And as a brand, and Robert's the same. All he wants to do is put together great products and put what's on the label in the product. But then again, as you get further down the line, some things that might be out of your control might have stopped that. But that's all you can ever hope as a consumer. But obviously, sometimes that shit just don't happen. I'm not saying that's the case with Gorilla Mind or HTLT, with the Turk and stuff. Like, That's just always what I've always believed in, and I believe that with everybody in the industry. It's extremely naive, and everyone always tells me I'm an idiot, but that's exactly what I believe. Someone says, hey man, there's 10 milligrams of alpha-yohimbine in this. I'm going to believe the shit out of them. Might be lying, but I'm going to believe them. And it's just me. But I do know that you get these occasions where things happen, and like I don't like to blame brands. I don't like to blame people.
But you know what? I think you're 100% on point, and that's exactly what I kind of said last week before you joined us. And the thing is like you said, somebody sneezed on it or something like that. You're paying for a top quality product. I mean, at least let's assume that you're an honest brand owner and you want the best possible product. So by the time you're getting an ingredient from, say, from China, Uzbekistan, Russia, I mean, I don't know, France, doesn't really matter. But you're paying for an ingredient. That ingredient is being shipped from that country to your manufacturer. I mean, maybe they're cheating. Maybe somebody did sneeze. I mean, it's possible. By the time it gets to your manufacturer, maybe it's not exactly, a good product. Maybe it's underdosed. Maybe it's a wrong ingredient. Maybe it didn't get tested. Maybe it did get tested, but it came out fishy, or maybe it's not. I mean, by the time the final consumer gets the product, it's been through so many fucking channels. So, I mean, and automatically the brands the brand or the brand owner or owners are getting blamed for. I think that what you said is, say, for example, your product is not okay. It's underdosed or something is wrong with your product. That's the bottom line. When it comes out and it got tested and there's something wrong with it, or, for whatever reason, something is off, the best thing is just be honest. I think that the consumer, or at least majority of the consumers, will appreciate your honesty. You can say, you know what, if you know the reason why something is wrong with the product, say it. If you don't know, say it like, listen, I know the product was not up to standard. I am sorry, because you should be sorry. But, you can even say, I don't know what happened. Then you can offer a discount. You can offer a refund. You can offer something. There are ways around it that, you can go. But the bottom line is, you're right. There are so many reasons as to something going wrong with the product before it reaches the end consumer.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of things that could go wrong, but at the end of the day, it is the last person in charge that's responsible, and that's obviously the brand. But again, if I came to you and I was like, look, Robert, I tested your pre-workout and the caffeine's 290, not 350, and then you're like, how the fuck did this happen? And then you go all the way down and you're like, oh shit, I found out that this batch here used this outdated whatever, and the test wasn't actually double checked and it's actually a little bit under, and then you came back, you're like, look, it's because of this, and this whole batch is fucked up. That's kind of what you want to happen. Not kind of, that's what you want to happen in all situations. And so I guess it's like, I don't know what's happened. Like with this one, I haven't really followed it too much. I've seen a few videos, but ideally if something tests out, you want them to come back like, oh, this is because of this, and this, or this is this, and this, and like that's what you want. So that's why I said I haven't really seen like someone, I don't know, it's hard to really follow because obviously it's not through one channel and all these responses. But I like that Sicker Strength guy because he's done 2 videos and he kind of he's grouped all of the responses together. And
this is the link for anybody that wants to see it. It is.
He's got 2 videos up, I think, and he does.
Yeah, this is the one with those big giant.
There's the first one, and then there's another one that he followed up, and he kind of summarizes things. And it's like I said, it's pretty cool to.
Right here.
Yeah, and he kind of goes over it, and like I said, I liked it because it just summarized everything. But I'm just sort of saying what I would like. That's what I expect from my supplements. I think that it's got 25 grams of protein on the tub, and even if someone says, "Nah, dude, I heard it's got 15," I'm not going to believe it until like someone gives me a test or I do a test, and it's and that's kind of what will happen. So hopefully that this sort of whole situation has like a nice comprehensive explanation at the end, and they're like, look, he's so
34 milligrams of turkesterone, and then they're claiming 500.
No, you're saying, I believe that's the percentage of the Juga. 34.
I would like to see like more professional, more transparent, explanation from Greg, as well as, I remember the first time when his company got screwed up when he released the
Yeah, it was the fat burner.
fat burner, yeah. And after that, he sit down, he made a video, and he said straight from the get go, I screwed up. I didn't check the formula before it got released. It's my fault. You guys will get the refund, and that was awesome to see. And that is how it should be solved, because we're all humans. We all make mistakes.
Well, I mean, that's given that there is a mistake. I guess that's the tricky part here.
Yes, of course. Like I said earlier, Shane. When it comes to like manufacturing, you can trust your manufacturer, but at the same time, in the middle of the road
as well. Yeah.
Exactly. In the middle of the road, someone else can screw it up. So, like I said, this should be it should be all tested, and I also think that this path from from a plant till the bottle, everything should be checked.
I think it's the brand's responsibility to know that, but on the consumer side, like any consumer should be able to go to a site, pick it up, and be like, okay, I just want to check if it's actually legit. Takes it to a lab, and then they're like, look, it tested perfectly. Cool. It didn't test perfectly. Oh, okay. I'll test another bottle. Oh, okay. So, like sometimes you get these things, but it's at the end of the day, it's like I said, it needs like that explanation, I guess, and. That's kind of. I understand how all the mistakes can happen, but a consumer doesn't necessarily give two shits about how it's grown. They just want to know that when they buy it, that they get it. And if it's not that, then the brand should be able to explain, this is why. And it's like I said, I feel like there should be like a nice big video at the end, sort of saying, this is what happened here, this is what happened there, this is why this isn't actually the case, or this is the case, or whatever. And then that would be nice for everyone to see. And I would like to see that.
Yeah, and I fully agree with you on that. But at the same time, he made a video, and when he says that his product works even better because it has testosterone instead of turkesterone.
Yeah,
that's a massive fuck up, and that's what he shouldn't even say, because that's something that he's digging a huge grave. With this kind of words, with this kind of descriptions, I think he doesn't even grasp what he's saying. So at the end of the day, what I should do is to just, instead of trying to
cover up,
explain, just stop. Just
you know what? In a conversation, if we have a heated conversation, you can possibly say the wrong thing. You can. It happens. When you record a video, you are preparing to record a video. You are actually planning what you're going to say. And when you say something like that, I can't really justify it. I can't. You know what? I just think it's the wrong thing to say. And again, whatever the customer is paying for, the customer should get. And if the customer doesn't get it for whatever the fuck the reason is, you come and the first thing you say, because, again, Shane is right. You're the brand owner. The first thing you say is, I am sorry, because you should be sorry, because you didn't provide the customer what he paid for. And again, not to beat the dead horse, but people don't give a fuck. When they pay for something, they want to get exactly what they pay for. And when something goes wrong, take responsibility, accountability, and do the right thing. That's all. If for most part, people will appreciate your honesty. For most part, people will appreciate that you're trying to fix the wrong. And that's the only way. But to use excuses, I didn't give you this product, but I gave you this product, and this product is better than the product that you paid for. I mean, I'm sorry, that's just, no. And again, you're recording a video, so you clearly were thinking about your response. If this came on a live conversation and you said something wrong, then I'll give it to you as an excuse. That's fine. You still should apologize. But, this was a planned podcast or, a video. Sorry, I'm not buying it.
Awesome, gents. I think we'll call it there for today. Anybody wants to go check out more of the Turkesterone drama, go check out Sika Strength's site for his analysis and breakdown and do all that stuff.
It's pretty good. I think he's from Ireland. Can't remember. I think it's Ireland. Beautiful accent.
He's a red hair, so he's probably Irish.
It's got to be.
Plus,
It would have been better if he
wearing.
had a pint of Guinness while doing the talk.
Hey, did you notice he was wearing Gymshark? So he's Shane sponsored that as well.
Yeah. What's up?
This
is the regular fit. It's a little nicer.
Outstanding. All right, gents, one and all. Thank you, listeners, for tuning in. As always, we appreciate it. We love you. We will see you again next time on The Final Scoop. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all that other happy crap. Shane's pouring one out for his homies.
That's the Final Scoop.
The Final Scoop. There we go.
Yeah.
You got any topics of conversation or rebuttal to anything we said today, or a question, or you just don't like what we did? Feel free to drop a comment down below or shoot me an email, thesupplementengineer@gmail.com. Also send an Instagram to Lukasz, Robbie, or Shane at Stack3D at their respective points of contact.
You know what I'm waiting for. You know what I'm fucking waiting for.
Make sure to give this podcast a 5-star rating or 4. I mean, if you like what we're doing on your favorite podcast bruising platform. And for a big, sweet...
Fatness discount of all times. Remember, guys, you still can use the fatness discount of them all.
And fucking boom.
Tridar with a last-minute save.
He's gotta have this copied and pasted, right? He's gotta have this like as a note somewhere.
I like what Simon did. 3, 2, 1, Tridar, go.
I bet when he types in "don't forget," it already tries to auto-complete the rest of this.
Don't forget to subscribe to Stack3D notifications. Listen to the podcast to get the latest supplement industry news. The Google of supplements. Shane Smith, stack3d.com. All right, one and all. Have a pleasant evening, and we'll see you all next time on The Final Scoop.